Santa Clarita's hometown station, KHTS. Hey, make sure you go to hometownstation.com for all the latest and greatest Santa Clarita has to offer. And speaking of the greatest Santa Clarita has to offer, I have a special guest in studio. How'd I do? Was that all right?
That was a nice intro.
All right, Myles McNamara, Comfort Keepers in-home care. Go to seniorcaresantaclarita.com for more information, or keep listening because we're going to talk about some senior care things going on here. And it is the holiday season. It's a joyous time here for some people, maybe not for others. But, but you have some tips on what you should do. Families usually coming into town, right? Parents are coming into town, and sometimes this is the only time you get to see your folks, right?
Right. Well, Turkey Day does rank as the number one holiday that we all come together for, possibly the one time a year that we physically lay eyes on our loved ones. And throughout the year, we've talked to mom and dad on the phone. Everything's hunky-dory, which is a technical term, and they do well in conversations. They do well in that 5-minute hi, how are you, the type thing. But now we're going to see mom and dad for quite possibly the first time in a year.
Yeah.
So I always say, you know what, pay attention. Use your 5 senses, your sight, smell, touch, taste, feels. When you see mom and dad, is really look at them with an eye of discovery, in that, give them a hug. Do they feel like they've just lost 10 pounds since the last time you gave them that hug? Take a sniff. I mean, do they smell like they're not bathing very, mom and dad used to be, completely organized and their personal hygiene was impeccable. Now they're slipping, and for whatever reason, things are not just right. Take a look in the refrigerator. Is there spoiled food? Is there food in there at all? And as mom and dad may start to slip cognitively, maybe, physically as well, it's never fair in life. We either stay physically strong and cognitive issues hit us, or, physically we start to break down and we're sharp as a tack. It's just those golden years aren't quite as golden as they always, tell us they're going to be. But it's really important, Kyle, that when our parents begin to age with the respect and compassion that it deserves, is to start looking at them in a different light and to start coming away with a plan, because I can guarantee one thing in life is that we're all going to age.
Yeah, they always say, in sports, they always say Father Time's undefeated. That's not just in sports. That's also in life.
That's
again,
correct.
We're speaking with Myles McNamara, owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care here in the Santa Clarita Valley, seniorcaresantaclarita.com. And so it's your job, especially if you're going to mom and dad's house and they're aging a little bit, to be an investigator.
Absolutely.
You need to be a little bit of a detective, check their medications and things and all that stuff. So you need to keep an eye out for all of those things. So if we see those things, what is your advice for dealing with that? Obviously, I don't know, maybe it is a good approach for some to just say, hey, you're getting old, let's take care of this. But maybe not.
With a little more compassion, Kyle.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But, and that's the thing. The biggest, and I mean, the hardest transition we're going to make in life is if we're ever thrust into that position of parenting our parents. And sometimes it has to be a rhetorical conversation, because you need to come away with a plan. And if you haven't had the talk already, then maybe this holiday season, in a very positive, we all know what the roadmap's going to lead to. Let's talk about how you want it to look as we go there.
Another thing about that, I've spoken to a few people about this, it makes it less stressful. It's already stressful enough having to deal with it. I assume you deal with it a lot more than I do, certainly. But it makes it a lot less stressful if you sit down with your parents and have that plan, because you know where it goes. It's already stressful enough. You may be losing your parents. You may be losing some elderly loved ones. But it makes it a little less stressful if you know where they want to go with it.
Right, and there's no decisions to be made if you have the talk before it's an issue. And down the road, it may be where a little bit of home care is what they need to come in and make sure they're eating well and taking them on their errands and keeping the house clean, that type of thing. Or it may become more of an issue. I mean, as we approach those golden years, the journey that you and your parents choose, it could be assisted living. It could be, it could be a plethora of things, but have the talk before it's an issue, and let the parents tell you what it is. Now, unfortunately, if you come to the point where they're no longer making the best decisions for themselves, as I mentioned earlier, parenting your parents is a very hard transition, and sometimes if their decisions aren't in the best interests of themselves anymore, that's when we have to step in. We have to ask for the assistance of our doctors or their doctors, and start to create a team, if you will, that's looking out for the best interest as they want to age in place. What resources have to be brought into play so that they can age in place, and preferably, which is why Comfort Keepers is around, is that they can do that in their own home. And sometimes a helping hand is all that's needed to allow that to happen. And we like to consider ourselves a concierge service or an executive assistant because we're not medical. So it's not like we're nurses and we're coming in and mom and dad doesn't need that yet, but they just need that assistant that might come in. When I'm saying, when you walk in the house and you look around, is there a stack of non-paid bills in the corner? Well, that's not like dad. He never let that happen. So you start to just be observant, be Sherlock Holmes for the turkey day, really, really pay attention, and because that acting job that they do with the 5 minutes on the phone every weekend, you can hide a lot. So really drill down, come away with a plan, put some things in place that need be proactive. Don't be reactive. Don't wait for them to fall and break a hip. Don't wait for them not to take their medications on time. Don't wait for them to be dehydrated or malnutrition because they're not eating. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. So put a plan in place. Even, might be time for an emergency response system, one of those, life alert things that you wear their necklace or, so if they need help, they push a button, boom, it's there. So again, just look at the overall health and living conditions of your parents, and might they need a helping hand in one or many areas.
And what the great thing is, I like what you said, you guys aren't medical. So what that does, it kind of takes the pressure, and again, you're the expert, but tell me if I'm right, but it kind of takes the little pressure off of them. Oh, they're just coming to help me, do some laundry. They're like, I don't need a doctor. I don't need somebody helping me with all this stuff, but it's just one of those easy assistant things. And these little things, tell me, do these little things help keep them in their home even longer? Like being able to pay their bills, taking their medication correctly, that keeps them in their home even longer.
Absolutely.
And that could be a part of the
main thing that gets seniors into the hospital, the highest percentage is mismanagement of medications or slip and falls. So if a broken hip is going to put them in the hospital, a lot of times that's the beginning of the end because they never really recover from that. Who knows? Depression may settle in, whatever the case may be. So that's the thing you want to look at too. Is mom or dad, shaky on their feet? Maybe it's time for a cane or a walker. Are there proper handrails in the bathroom so they're getting in and out of that shower and they don't slip and fall? The kitchen is the most dangerous place in the house for our seniors because that's where most of the slip and fall. Well, I'd say probably pretty evenly with the bathroom. Where those slip and falls happen, when you least expect it. So again, are there proper hand railings? Are there, are there throw rugs they're going to trip and fall? Is there clutter? Just take a good hard look at the house, their living situations. Are they eating? Are they, again, it's a visual this time. You're not just talking to them on the phone. And, if you could do an errand, let them drive. Let mom and dad drive to the store, because maybe you've noticed there's a couple of dings on the car that weren't there last time you saw them, So, let mom help you cook in the kitchen so you can kind of see how she's doing with all that. But, say, hey, Dad, let's go to the store and let Dad drive, and buckle in and see how it goes, because these are the things we need to pay attention to.
Awesome. So a lot of stuff to look forward to and also have fun.
Absolutely. And enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, enjoy spending time with your folks.
I think I prefaced this up front, guys. Don't be a bull in a china shop. Handle it with respect. Handle it with dignity. And if you have that talk before it's an issue, now you're being proactive, not reactive. And it's like, how do you want these things to look, Mom and Dad?
And if you want, and sorry for putting you on the spot here, but if you want advice on how to approach your family, check out Comfort Keepers. Right?
Absolutely. Give a call. You don't have to be on service with us. If you just want an ear, if you want to just, ask some questions and, talk about the dynamics of that whole, issue of helping your parents, always happy to chat with you and see what the situation is and put together that game plan.
Awesome. Myles McNamara, thank you for coming in.
My
Appreciate
pleasure.
you. SeniorCareSantaClarita.com. What's the phone number over there, Myles?
287-4200.
Easy.
You can go to my main big site, comfortkeepers.com, but seniorcaresantaclarita.com. I have some educational videos on there and kind of drill down a little bit more on the frequently asked questions and things like that.
Sweet. Okay, what's your favorite, what are you looking forward to most about Thanksgiving, food-wise? I know family's okay. I know your daughter's coming in and all this stuff, but food-wise, what are you looking forward to?
Oh, I want enough tryptophan to put me down for the weekend,
Nice.
so you always go for that turkey, and I usually deep fry the turkey, but this
really?
year we're not doing that. We're doing the old buffet at TPC.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, that's an amazing.
Look at you getting fancy.
Absolutely, you just there's no cleanup. You go, you overeat, you roll home, you're done.
Nice. The no cleanup sounds nice.
That's
All
right.
right. Thanks, Myles, for coming in.
My pleasure, Kyle. Thank you.
KHTS, your hometown station.